Good morning, students. Welcome all of you to today's class. Today we are continuing with the topic with the chapter accountancy. First chapter introduction, and in the previous class we discussed the meaning, definition, and characteristics of accounting. Okay, so today we'll discuss the objectives of accounting. So all this chapter full all topics are related to the general things only. So simple theories only there. So just we'll go through that. Okay. So objectives of accounting first we'll discuss. So what is the purpose of doing accounting, why we need accounting, all those things I told you in the previous class. Okay, so objectives of accounting, we can say maintaining systematic records of financial transactions and events. So I told you accounting we want to record, classify, summarize and interpreting the results and related to money transactions, so financial data. So otherwise we will forget everything, so no data will be available. It will create so much confusions and problems in the business. So first thing for maintaining accounting is maintaining systematic records of financial transactions and events. So whatever transactions and events which is happening in the business, that we have to record properly, and we have to keep it systematically according to specified rules. That rules and all we will study later. Okay, so accounting also followed some principles and all. That's why accounting also known as or treated as assumed as science. Okay, so next thing of objective, next objective is ascertaining profit or loss. To calculate the profit or loss we are doing accounting. Okay, so mainly accounting is related to business organizations, so they want to know the profit or loss made in a particular year. So how much profit or how much loss how my business is running, what was the last year's profit, and comparison we can do with last year's profit and this year profit, whether there is increase in profit or decrease in profit, or any year loss is there, what is the reason for the loss, or how much increase in the sales, production or purchase, or increase in expenditures. All those things we can classify separately in profit and loss statement, and we can have a look into that, and we can take decisions accordingly. Whatever changes we can make, that we can make in the next year. Okay, so that is ascertaining profit and loss. So to ascertain, or ascertain means calculate. So to calculate the profit and loss, which statement we prepare, profit and loss account will be prepared. Okay, next is ascertaining financial position. So this ascertaining, this one no profit or loss, we can say it as a financial performance. Okay, so remember, to calculate profit or loss we can call it as performance financial performance. So ascertaining financial position. So where you ascertain your financial position means the assets position and liability position. Okay, so not only we want to know the profit or loss made during the year, how much assets I have or how much liabilities I have in my business, that also we have to check. So assets are the properties owned in the business, liabilities are the amount we have to pay to the outsiders. Okay, so that is called what? Financial position. This financial position we can we know, or we can come to know in balance sheet. That statement is called what? Balance sheet. So we can say what? Financial performance in profit and loss account, financial position in balance sheet. Okay, so now in the first chapter we are discussing the overall accounting thing only. We will study all these things whatever we are talking later. Okay, then assisting the management. Of course, if accounting practice is very well done in a business, then it will assist in management. So for the managing, whoever the managers or who are managing the business or owners, for them it will be very helpful. So actually accounting data will give a good idea about the business, or good picture about the business, so that the business people, whoever are there managing the business, they can take good decisions in the coming years. Next is communicating accounting information to the users. Next objective is to prepare accounting records and all. Whoever wants accounting data, or who wants to know about the business, customers are there, employees, managers, government, income tax authorities, uh, those who are inside the business, or we can classify it as internal users and external users. So all those people, they want to know what is going on in the business. Owners, shareholders, all those people wants to know what is happening in the business. So for them also, we can prepare the accounting data properly and we can submit to them. Okay, so these are the objectives behind making accounting records. Okay, so understood? No, first we can say it is systematic maintenance of accounting data or details, then to ascertain the profit or loss through profit and loss account or financial performance, then ascertaining financial position through balance sheet, then assisting the management, communicating accounting information to the users. So these are the objectives of accounting. Okay, now just we'll see the advantages of accounting. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? Just we'll check. So advantages, if you do accounting, what are the advantages? Provides information about financial performance. Now we'll now I told you financial performance means what? Profit and loss account, profit or loss, whether the business made profit or loss. When we calculate profit or loss at the end of the year, so usually it commences from April 1st to 31st March. 31st March we close our account. After that, again April 1st will come, new accounting year or new financial year will start. So to know about the financial performance, then provide assistance to management, that also we told in these objectives. Facilitate comparative study. Yes, if accounting data is there, we can compare our own performance. Last year how we performed, this year how we are performing, or the our business and the same type of another business we can compare. So comparative study we can make if accounting records are there. Then replaces memory. Yes, so in human memory we cannot feed everything, or we cannot store everything properly in a systematic way. 1 or 2 days we can remember, afterwards we forget. So our memory can be replaced through this accounting process. After any number of years also, you can check what happened in the last 10 years, or before 10 years before what happened, or 5 years before what happened. So according to the maturity of your business, you can have a very good database on your business. Okay, that is replaces memory. Next is helps in settlement of tax liability. Yes, so almost all business firms, they have to pay tax on their income, how much income they earn in a particular year. For that they have to pay tax. So tax authorities usually ask you submit your accounting statements, that is mainly profit and loss account and balance sheet they will ask. Okay, so through that they will be satisfied, they can check properly about your business. Then advantages of uh, okay, again this is coming, this no need. Helpful in raising loans. Yes, so when you go to bank also may ask you submit your accounts. So submit your accounts means if you are following systematic records under accounting principles, then you can submit your profit and loss account and balance sheet and other cash flow statement, fund flow statement, so many other statements also there, ratio analysis and all there. So now whatever accounting data asked by the banks, we can submit, and so that we can take loan from banks. Then evidence in court. Yes, if any case against business is standing, or any somebody filed a case against the business, that time also we can use this accounting data as a records to submit in front of the court. Okay, next helps in sale of business. Yes, suppose you want to sell your business to someone, you want to shut down your business, you are unable to continue, so you are selling your business to someone else. So if you have a proper balance sheet, no, there will be no confusion. Whatever you have, it is there in the balance sheet. Whatever assets you have, land, building, furniture, machines, whatever assets, raw materials, stocks, everything you have recorded in asset side. Liability side, whatever liabilities you have, you borrowed from someone, you borrowed from your friend, you borrowed from your bank, whatever you have to pay to others, everything is there on the liability side. So it is easy for you if you are maintaining all records properly when you sell the business. then helpful in decision making. Of course, we understood if all these things are happening, this is very easy to take decisions. Okay, so these are the advantages of accounting. Actually, these features, characteristics, objectives, advantages, everything is related each other. Okay, so we can see almost all points are repeating everywhere. Okay, now disadvantages of accounting. So what are the disadvantages of accounting? Accounting is not fully exact. Yes, accounting sometimes no, we may not record correct things. Suppose people may give money afterwards. So after receiving only we will record, but there may be chance for bad debts and all. So that and all will not give you exact picture about the business. Then accounting does not indicate the realizable value. Yes, so in accounting what you record, actually no, after 1 year only you can understand these disadvantages when you study thoroughly the whole syllabus or chapter. This is what it in a realizable value means. Suppose I have a machine in my balance sheet, it is 5 lakh, it is showing in the balance sheet. So what I am writing is the purchase price, how much I paid for that I am writing in the balance sheet, or I will charge some depreciation, that also can be shown. But realizable value, when I sell that asset, what how much is recovered or realized from that market value I'm not showing in the balance sheet. That just a disadvantage. Advantages are there everywhere. So this is just for namesake. Due to these disadvantages we cannot say accounting is not proper. Just for our precaution these disadvantages are standing. Okay, ignore the effect of price level changes. Yes, so whatever 5 years back I purchased for 5 lakh, that asset value may change after 5 years. Maybe it is now available only 10 lakhs. So price level changes we are not considering. Inflation, deflation in economic changes and happening, that we are not taking into consideration. Then next is ignores qualitative information. Yes, so we write only quantitative information, means only money matters we are writing, financial related aspects we are writing here. Only quality, we are not giving any importance to qualitative aspects. Okay, then affected by window dressing. So window dressing means exaggerating the things, or showing more profit or more sales than the original sales and all. Sometimes people want to show more profit to attract more owners and all, shareholders and all. So that type of thing may happen. That is called what? Window dressing. Means what? Manipulating and showing something to attract the people. So that is what? Window dressing. Okay, so this is a particular word we used in business world. So these are the disadvantages. Clear, no? Okay, so these are simple theories, that's why I'm telling fast. Okay, now we will go to accounting. Also have a different branches or types are there. So one type is financial accounting, that is what we are studying now. Then cost accounting, management accounting. So these are different accounting. This you will study in higher classes and all. Okay, so now you have to study in 11th and 12th financial accounting. So branches of accounting, again explanation is there. Financial accounting deals with the maintenance of books of accounts to determine profitability and financial position. Financial accounting mainly aims at what? Profit and loss account and balance sheet preparation. So for that we have to do some process. In definition I told you, recording, classifying, summarizing. So first we have to record, then classify, then summarization will come. Okay, that is what in financial accounting we are doing. Now cost accounting. Cost accounting means it deals with the accounting which is concerned with the controlling the cost of products manufactured or service rendered. So actually this is factory related, more factory oriented accounting. Per unit cost of the product, how much raw material you purchase from that raw material, how much unit you produce, per unit how much cost you are incurring, how many labors are there, how much other expenses are involved, all these things per unit. Suppose if it is a biscuit factory we can say to produce one biscuit how much cost is involved, how much sugar, how much wheat flour, something, all raw materials per unit cost we will calculate, and employee labor charges, everything will add per unit. So that is a vast and wide subject. If you are interested, you can study in BCom, MCom. Okay. Then management accounting. Management accounting is deals with accounting which is concerned with the decision making process of account management. So management accounting means is another branch of accounting that will help the managers to take good decisions. Okay. So this is all for just for your knowledge only. No need to study in detail and all, just for your knowledge. Okay. Now accounting is science, art and all we already discussed. I'm not telling that now. Then accounting information. Accounting information. So how an accounting information should be? Provide information for making economic decisions. Yes, this also I told you already. All accounting information should provide some decision making purpose, or it fulfill decision making purpose also. It serves the users who rely on financial statements as their principal source of information. So whoever needs the statement, it should fulfill that purpose. Suppose the owners are the people who invested money in the business. Suppose I invested money in your business, I want to know what you are doing in your business. So that time when I ask you, you have to submit the proper data to me. Okay, that should be there. Then provide information useful for predicting and evaluating the amount, timing and uncertainty of potential cash flow. Yes, your cash flow of your business. So when your cash flow is happening, or how your cash flow is happening, so you should know what is cash flow. Cash flow means cash inflow and cash outflow. If cash is coming into your business, that is called cash inflow. If you are spending money for different purpose, money is going out of the business, that is called cash outflow. So when cash outflow happens, and the time, and through which sources, through sales, when you sell product, cash inflow will be there. But when you make payment to somebody else, then cash outflow will be there. So each and every opportunities or circumstances of cash flow we have to identify. So that information you will get from accounting data. Then it should provide information for judging management's ability to utilize resources effectively in meeting goals. Yes, so accounting information, whatever accounting information is there, it should be able to judge the management's ability. If management has to improve their efficiency, that should be revealed in the accounting data. Understood? So accounting data, if any year profit is going down, sale is going down, production is stopped, so we can analyze the reason for that. So sometimes it may be due to the inefficiency of management, so that also will be revealed by accounting information. Okay. Next is provide factual and interpretative information by disclosing underlying assumptions on matters subject to interpretation. Yeah, so there may be this information give you facts and disclose some assumptions we may have. These what economic changes may come. So during when Modi government has withdrawn that rupee 1,000 rupee notes and all, that time also financial crisis happened in business world, and due to now COVID-19 situations also created so much issues and all. So when COVID-19 came or lockdown came, people make some assumptions in their mind. So afterwards when they really do their business, that time they will get a factual information, or through that they can interpret and analyze the real reason for that. So for that also accounting information is needed. Okay, so don't worry, what I am telling is why accounting information, or how an accounting information should be. Accounting information, this is my accounting information, or this is the accounting information of my business. Like that we cannot simply present something else to others. It should provide some information to the users. So how it should be, that is what we are discussing. Okay, so then provide information on activities affecting the society. Yes, So this accounting information, when you prepare, if anything due to your business or pollution something is happening, and it is affecting the society, then that also should be reflected in your accounting theories or accounting statements. Okay, so these are the things, accounting information, how an accounting information should be. Okay, types of accounting, that is no need. Now, users of accounting. So who are the users of accounting? Who are the people they want to use accounting information? So in between I told you there are internal users and external users. Okay, so internal users are the people who are inside the organization, those who want to know about the business. Okay, you think, imagine you are a business person, you invested 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 50 lakhs rupees in your business. Of course you will be having that tension in your mind, and you want to know what is going on in your business. Understood? So along with you, you may employed some other employees in your organization, and other laborers, factory workers, and management people, other office staff also there in your organization. At the same time, outside some people are there, those people also wants to know about our business. So it is actually connected each other. So take a school as an example. So school, teachers, students, or principal, others, sub staff, all these people are internal, we can say, those who are inside working or working inside the school premises. But there are other people outside the organization or the school, we can, they also want to know about the school. So who are they? Parents are there, government is there, society is there, even central government or state government, we can say, and unions, teachers unions or trade unions. So many people are, any institution you take, some interested people will be there. So interested groups, or who users who wants to use the information, means those who are interested, they only want to know. Suppose you are student of KV Bamboli, you want to know about your school, you will not be interested to know about any other school. That means you are the user, or the you are interested, you are in the interested group, that we call generally stakeholders, not a shareholder, stakeholder. Okay, so internal users, who are the internal users? Owners, generally we can say owners. Owners are who? Owners are the people, those who invested money in the business, so they want to know about the business. So they want to know profitability and financial position, soundness. Okay, next is management. Of course, the management people, those who are managing the business in company form, and all owners are shareholders, but the companies are managed by other group of people, that is called management. Okay, then employees. So mainly internal users are these three categories: owners, management, and employees. So these three categories of people, they want to know about the business organization. Okay, next, external users. External users means those who are outside the organization. So that we can say banks and financial institutions. So banks want to know about your profitability, how your business is performing, how you are doing everything in your business. All those things banks want to know. Then investors and potential investors. Investors means those who invested already. Potential investors means those who want to invest later, future investors. Okay, so present and future investors, they also want to know about our business. Then creditors. Creditors, who? Those people who lend money to us, we borrowed from them, so they also want to know what this man is doing. He borrowed from me, whether I should get back my money or not. So that's why he also wants to know the profitability or the financial soundness of the business. All these people want to know two things only: financial performance and financial position. Financial performance through profit and loss account, and financial position in balance sheet. Okay, so what they want to know means these two things only everyone wants to know, because it will be clear in these two things. Then government and other agencies. Yes, external users. The next one is government authority. So government also wants to know, to collect the tax, sales tax, VAT, excise duty, customs duty. So all those things are related to the business. So government also want to know. Then researchers, so those who are doing research and all, those people also come to collect data about your business as part of their data collection. Then consumers, of course, they are the valuable part of the business. Consumers surely stakeholders, they are the interested group, they want to know about the business performance. Then general public include even consumers also. So they are the indispensable part of the society, because business is standing in society. We are taking all the resources from the society. Business studies, I told you, the raw material needed for business is coming from nature. So nature means so many people are living, so many other organisms, living things are there. So we are exploiting or we are using that and making our business. That's why we should be liable or we are responsible towards the society also, all business people. Okay, so these are the internal and external users. Okay, now we'll move to next, qualitative characteristics of accounting. Okay, how how should be an accounting information? That is what qualitative characteristics means. What are the qualities you have to include in accounting information? First thing is reliability. Accounting information must be reliable. Reliable means trustworthy. Reliable implies that the information must be free from material error and personal biasness and verifiable. So accounting usually done by accountants, they are human beings. Sometimes some error may comes in that due to the personal prejudice or bias from the side of the mm, this accountant. That should not be there. So any material error should not be there. Whatever accounting information you prepare, it should be explainable, or if someone asks you, you should be able to explain it properly. So that is why it is called, it is trustworthy or reliable. The account information is said to have verifiability if transactions are supported by documentary evidence such as cash memo, sales invoice, etc. I told you in the previous class, all transactions should be supported by what? Source documents or cash memos. Suppose you are paying for some amount, you paid for something, then you should get the cash memo that you have paid for it. That is an evidence. Okay, so that is why you can create reliability on accounting information. That is the first one. This one is a trading account format and all that we are not discussing now. Second point is relevance. So relevance means accounting information must be relevant to the decision making requirements of the users. It means unnecessary and irrelevant information should not be included in financial statements. So accounting is very important करके सारा चीज़ तो include नहीं करना है. हमको जो चाहिए वो important information हम इसमें include करना है. That is called what? Relevance. So accounting information must be relevant to decision making. What is needed or what should be included, that you have to put in the accounting records. Then understandability means decision makers must interpret accounting information in the same sense as it is prepared and conveyed to them. So suppose I am an accountant, I prepared the accounting statements, balance sheet I prepared, state profit and loss account I prepared, and everything I kept properly, and I'm submitting it to you. So when you read that, you are not understanding anything, then I failed as an accountant. I failed because I'm not conveying any information to you. Suppose you may be uneducated or you don't know how to understand it, then you can ask me. I should be able to explain that in an understandable way. Okay, so that is what understandability. Next is what? Comparability. Comparability means it should be able to compare. Compare means, you know, comparative performance. Intra-firm comparison means within the firm, inside the firm we can compare our details. Our own performance we can compare, or inter-firm. Two types of comparison: intra-firm and inter-firm. Intra-firm means within the firm. Intra Inter-firm means our firm and another firm. Firm means organization, business. Usually partnership business we call firm. Okay. So these are the qualitative characteristics of accounting. Which are they? Yes. here I told you reliability, then relevance, understandability, comparability. Okay. Then next topic is system of accounting. So there are mainly two system of accounting: double entry system, single entry system. Okay. So what do you mean by double entry system? This is what principle I told you. Okay. Other principles are also there. This double entry system is a principle, means each and every transaction has two effects, one debit and another credit. So that is called what? Dual aspect concept. So in next chapter when we start, this is the starting part of your accounting, actually accounting process. So there we will study in detail. Okay. So dual aspect concept, where we follow dual aspect concept, means debit credit rule. If you are following debit credit rule and maintaining your accounting system, accounting books, then it is called what? Double entry system. Okay. So it is a systematic and scientific method of recording financial transaction. Actually, this is the accounting practice, or this is the system which is accepted all over India. American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, AICPA definition we studied. In that, whatever we explained there, actually it is followed under double entry system. Okay. So every transaction has two aspect, receiving and giving. That is why I told you debit and credit. So in any transaction you take, there will be two aspects, one debit or one credit, or one receiving, one giving. Okay. So now I am not explaining that, we will study it later, because that only our main purpose of accounting this year. Then, so with the help of rules of debit and credit, here you see debit and credit, one aspect debited and other aspect is credited. The total of all debits and all credits must be equal. Arithmetical accuracy can be checked by preparing trial balance. Yes. So now when you put debit items and credit items, ultimately finally the total should come equal. For that we prepare another one statement, that is called trial balance. Okay. All these things we are going to study only. Again I am telling, you should not be confused or worried now. Everything we will study later. Okay. Before starting, they're giving an introduction like this. That is what happening. Okay. Here one example also there. If a firm has purchased the machinery for cash, then in this transaction two accounts will be affected. Okay. Now you think machinery purchase. So machinery came into the business, but money has gone out of the business. So here two aspects we can say, one is machinery, another one is cash. Understood? So like this, any transaction you take, there will be two aspects. That two aspects we have to find out. Then what should be debited, credited and all rule is there. That accounting rule we will study later. Okay. So simple example here. So if you are following this way, there will not be any error, and even any error happen, we can check it out and we can find out easily. That is what the advantages of double entry system. Okay. So what we are studying, going to study is double entry system only. So it is a system, a scientific system, complete recording system, arithmetical accuracy, means amount wise you can check the figures and make it correct. Profit or loss we will prepare, and financial position also, comparative study possible, decision making possible. So actually what we are going to study in this full chapter or full syllabus is what? Double entry system only. Okay. Remember. Now another system also there for people those who are uneducated and all. They are following what? Single entry system. Actually it is not a double entry, that is why the name is given single entry system. Single one entry करके एक entry भी नहीं है, but since they are not following double entry system, it is known as what? Single entry system. So it is here you see it is an unscientific method, no scientific theory and all. Even uneducated people also doing business, that's why they are following this method only. They are unknowingly following, they don't know they are following this and all. But those who know about these things, they are writing this. Okay. So this is unscientific method, record which does not follow accepted accounting rules. So whatever accounting rules are there, they are not following any account. So their manipulation also they can do, no records so you can found. Okay. And these people, they don't know what how much money or how much profit is earned by them, No records you can found in this type of business, those who are following single entry system. Okay. As a rule, only records cash of personal accounts. Cash account will be there, so they will maintain only cash book or cash account, how much cash received, how much cash paid, that will be available, that anyone can write and keep. No. And personal account, if you borrowed from someone, or you suppose today I borrowed from X rupees 5,000, then I will write X account 5,000. Okay, ho gaya. But